everybody. Wonderful to be back. It says here that I became head in 1981, but of course I first came here in 1970 as head of maths. I came from Gosford Grammar School. I came because I believe in comprehensive education, and I believed that we needed to educate properly and thoroughly all of our citizens, and not to tell some youngsters, 80% of our youngsters, that they were failures at the age of 11. So I think I was wanted as a new teacher, as head of maths, because I'd come from grammar school already teaching to A-level and scholarship level, and because the school here had the comprehensive intake in what was then fourth year, but year 10. And we needed to prepare a sixth form for the students who would be going through. That was a challenge, and we worked closely with the then deputy head, Martin Gent, to establish what we wanted to be the type of sixth form here. And the one thing we insisted on was our sixth formers should contribute to local community. And that was rewarded by the Alderman Frank Wise Award, which recognised the work that he had done in this school and in this community. That worked out very well, and we did develop the sixth form that I think we all became proud of. The other big challenge was to change the culture. Most girls at the age of 15 or 16 decided that education wasn't for them, and we had to change that culture. It worked. We had to press some to stay on, but they did stay on. But in those early days when I was here, the heads of department almost invariably were men. When I left in 2001, we had heads of department, head of art, all of our ladies, head of modern languages, head of design technology, head of physics, soon to be head of science, all of the ladies, and all of those in positions because they were the best candidates for the job. We changed the culture, and that is something else that schools should be proud of. The buildings here were always a challenge. They really were a challenge. People out here now, you've got the tree behind them, there was the old E-block, a building called the HORSA, a Horsa, a hut on the raising of the school leaving age, which took place raising the age from 14 to 15 during the war. The building was 1 brick thick. It had corrugated roof, no insulation, and gas heaters that worked if they felt like it. But most of the time, in the winter, students and teachers were in there with their overcoats and scarves on trying to learn. When I became head, I was promised that that building would be replaced. Towards the end of my 20-odd years as head teacher, eventually we did get the money for it. It took a visit from the then leader of the Lib Dem, Paddy Ashton, who came to visit, and I took him the television cameras to see around the school. Well, maybe I took him to Ebro. Strangely enough, the money that nobody had been able to find for the previous 10 years suddenly became available. But I think that's because he was accompanied by television cameras which showed the state of the building and the mildew running down the walls. They were not fit for any human beings to be educated in. The county architect said, oh well, we'll put another block outside. But by then, we had a chairman of the premises committee on the governance, Tony Matthews, a very skilled architect who said, no, we won't. There's enough of getting out between rooms, getting in every weather, and as schools lessons change, we're going to develop new rooms down the old sea corridor. When I was asked just before I retired to unveil those rooms, I was surprised, totally surprised, to see that they'd been named the Rowley rooms. Many will remember that the county provided little money for the buildings. Many will remember being here weekends and holidays. Governors, staff, teachers and non-teachers, pupils, parents, with cans of paint painting their classrooms, because that is the only way that we can get them looked after. That was the good state of education at that time. But then, and here's the important point, school isn't about the buildings, it's about the people. And this coming together, having to work so hard to create what we did, to set the school up as a proper comprehensive school at the centre of its community, as we were described by the late Sir Tim Brinkhouse as the best example of a working community school in Oxfordshire. And we worked with Margaret Russell, with Steve Donoghue. We shared these buildings with the whole community, and that's how it should be. The school is the heart of the community, not separate from it. We worked with local businesses, we worked with everybody that you could think of, with the Forum Youth Club and Rob Cloud, who was a fantastic leader of the Forum Youth Centre. And with all the struggles that have been made together, it gave the school the most important thing. It gave the school heart. And that is the challenge for moving forward from now. All of us here today are here because we carry some of Gosford Hill School with us. And my worry is, how do we get that feeling, that heart, that spirit into the new buildings? I think this afternoon has been the most wonderful thing to do. It's brought us all together. And we are together, we always have been. The school has been about this community, about all who came here, and we've insisted that students of every ability, from whatever background, should be here, should have the highest expectations, and should be encouraged to do the best that they can for themselves, their families, and for their community. So, one final suggestion, because you're in the cold, I've spoken long enough, is that I think, and I hope, that when the new buildings are here, we will be invited back again. And that we carry the little bit of stardust that we have, and help to bring that into the new building, and to continue the character of the culture of Gosford Hill School into the new buildings. We've had some wonderful students. I've seen some sad times, I've seen some wonderful times, I've seen joy, I've seen heartbreak. The students that we've lost, two on the railway line, so on the road, they all have left their mark on this school. They will never be forgotten, and we must make certain that they and their spirit resides in the new buildings which the school will soon have. So thank you for listening to me. It's a pleasure to be with you.